Hello and welcome back to ESBR Boxing. I'm absolutely delighted tonight to be joined with Qais Ashfaq ahead of his next fight coming up in February at the start of February. Qais, thank you so much for joining me tonight. First off, how are we and how is camp going for yourself?
Yeah, no problem at all. And yeah, kind of going great. I'm looking forward to showing what I've been working on and moving forward. I think it's been a bit of a stop and start situation with me recently, but COVID out the way, a few issues out the way. I'm looking forward to going out there and proving a point.
Sounds good, mate. Just going straight into it. You're fighting unbeaten Masood Abdullah, who comes into this fight on the back of beating Mark Leach, who you've also been in the ring with yourself. On the back of such a big night for yourself, where unfortunately you lost for the British title at super featherweight, was it always the plan to go straight back in with a big fight and sort of a big clash and an unbeaten opponent?
Well, for me, my management team will probably tell you this. I'll as soon as they send me a fight, it's like they know I'm going to say yes. I'll fight anyone. That's the way I am. I've always been that way, and with the Dillon fight, it was a bit of a it was a bit of a reach anyway. Obviously, going up with the weights and all that as well. Because I'm a natural featherweight. But saying that, I do think I won the fight. So there was a reason for taking it. There was a reason for doing what we did. And unfortunately, due to a couple of situations in the fight, I didn't get the decision. But again, like I said, I'm happy to take the big fights. And as soon as this fight was presented to me, within 10 minutes, if that, I'd said yes straight away. And all that was left was for my coach to say yes, and that was it. Literally within 10 minutes after Lee, our manager, messaging me and my coach Lee Beard were like, yeah, 100%, we're taking it. And it seems, and that's saying something when it seems like these days, oh well, not these days, but from what he's been saying, Masood himself, that no one wants to fight him.
Mm.
That's just the way I am. I don't care if anyone wants to fight him or not. I believe I win the fight, and I'm taking it. I'm taking my opportunity.
How did the loss to Liam Dillon shape yourself as a fighter? Because the way you spoke about it there, you seemed sort of unfazed almost, and it's like you say, it's that's gone now. It's on to the next one. It's big fights only. So, mentality wise, has it really affected you much at all? Because it seems that for yourself, it has shaped you quite well moving forward.
For me, I'm a firm believer in what's meant to be is meant to be. God's the best of planners. I do. I keep my belief in that. But with the Liam Dillon fight, yeah, I thought I won the fight. I thought I won. There was two silly knockdowns that even by the commentators mentioned there were soft knockdowns,
Mm.
and even with them, I had a judge having me ahead. So that kind of shows if you watch the fight back, I had all the quality work, and apart from a push and a pull, which was scored as knockdowns, I won the fight. But yeah, like I say, mentality wise, I'm very straightforward. I know what boxing is, I know what boxing's like, and I know the little things that can change a fight, and I know the business side of it as well. But for me, it's always been getting to the top, so there was no reason why I didn't take an opportunity again straight away. Um, because for me, that's what I'm here for. Like I say, I'm not here to just be a number. I do believe I can generally get to the top, and I'm happy to prove it, even if it has to be the hard way.
So you mentioned there yourself, it was something I was coming on to, where obviously you did jump up two weights up to super featherweight, for the available obviously British title. Was it jump? Did you jump up two weights because it was that British title fight, or are you just sort of just comfy going up between super bantam, feather, and super featherweight?
Well, I think my super bantam days are past me now. But super feather, I'll fight anyone. I'm happy to take any fights at feather and super feather. But with that fight, it was, to be honest, when it first got presented to me, I had no um not interest because again, it was very clear that I'm happy to fight at the weight, but I had no thoughts of even going to super featherweight yet. But again, it came across. It was a British title, so for me, it was okay, no problem. I'll see what I can do, kind of put the size on a little bit, and I'm happy to take the fight.
And then, as you've alluded to as well, Masood is sort of they're struggling to match him up, as in terms of people don't want to fight him. He's got a fairly good knockout percentage, and looking to progress through the ranks to title level relatively quickly. What sort of challenge do you think he presents to yourself ahead of fight night?
He's a tough kid. Again, I've watched him a couple of times now. I like to see that he had a very good performance against Mark Leach, where obviously I think he took him out in the eighth, I think it was, or the end of the eighth because the corner didn't let him out. But he had a very good performance there. And the Leach fight is a fight that I wanted the rematch straight away, and it was it was eluded by their side. Um, so this is kind of like okay, he beat Leach, so I beat Masood, and it's kind of like another way of revenge in a way because I don't believe Mark Leach is ever going to fight me again. But Masood is at the minute the next best thing because he stopped him and he's the only person to stop him. And I hope he's got a bit of confidence from that, Masood. Reason being, he don't know the reasons behind the way things happened, the way it happened. I should have never lost that fight with Mark Leach. Whether the judges had me winning or losing, I generally to this day believe even back then I was a much better fighter. But it's one of those things that you move on from. But like I say, I'm hoping he does take a bit of confidence from that. But I know what I'm capable of, and I know like I say, just because maybe he's thinking, oh, I beat Mark Leach, and Mark Leach all of me is go beat Kes. But if that is the case, it'll have a false sense of security because I'm like I say, I'm looking to show how good I am, and I'm going to prove on the night that I'm the much better fighter than Mark Leach and Masood himself.
As you said there, obviously the Mark Leach wanted the immediate rematch that weren't available. Was it a case with this fight? Was the immediate rematch with Liam Dillon not available, or was that not a fight that materialised at all?
So it was. So we said yes straight away. Literally on the night of the fight, when I walked in the changing rooms, I was saying to the Sauerland brothers, saying, "Listen, I want the rematch. I want the rematch." And my manager Lee, okay, well, we're going to try our best to make it happen, and it was on the table. Um, but in my opinion, again, this is my opinion because I say it's my opinion, but this is also something that was said by his team on the night. Um, when we mentioned the rematch, people from his team had said, "Why are we going to have the rematch with Qais Ashfaq when we've got the easier fight in Bellotti?" Okay, and that's a fact. Them words came out of their mouths. As much as they're making out they didn't try to elude the rematch, even saying that after that the rematch was done. But what they then done was they'd dragged the rematch out and out and out. And then there was a few issues with dates and stuff. And what had ended up happening was, even though I'd been training for the rematch, what had happened then was the contract ran out, so they did manage to get out of it. And now they've took the fight with Bellotti, which again, just judging by what they'd said on the night of the fight, makes sense to what their plan was and why they delayed it and how they managed to get out of it. But again, that's something that's in the past now. Don't get me wrong. If that fight was presented to me next with Liam Dillon, even after winning this fight, I'd be happy to take it because I do believe I'm the better fighter. And with it being my first 12 rounds that time as well, I've learned a lot from the fight. But yeah, like I say, it's just one of those things that I'm not really concentrating on that right now. I'm concentrating on Abdullah. But the Liam Dillon fight is definitely a fight that I'd take again.
Yeah, that sort of led me on to my next question. It was going to be sort of, is that the fight you'd be looking at next, sort of the winner of Liam and Reece Bellotti? But it just seems so for yourself. Is it just a case of whatever your team gets presented to you that you're happy to take? As long as it's a challenge, then you're happy to take it on?
100%, like say for me, win this title against Abdullah, and that puts me in a good position as a featherweight. But again, after that, I want titles. I want major titles. I want British, Commonwealth, European, and eventually world. And that's how good I believe I am. And I know with the right um, backing, I can get there without a doubt. I've got a great team behind me, Lee and my management team at Let's Go Management, and my coach Lee Beard. I've got a brilliant team around me, and we all do genuinely believe exactly what I've just said. So yeah, for me, it's like win this fight. I'm happy to fight. Nathaniel Collins, if he's still got the British and Commonwealth, and I'm happy to fight Liam Dillon if he's still got it. But again, I'm that's two different weights, British and Commonwealth titles. So like I said, that's in my eyes, that's a route. But again, with boxing, it can be very unexpected. So whatever comes, comes. And like I said, I've always been a firm believer of God, and what's meant to happen is always going to happen. So I just keep moving forward.
And then for yourself, as you just mentioned now, so you're with Let's Go Management and Lee Eaton, how does that help yourself sort of prepare and look towards title fights? Because at the minute, obviously, Lee Eaton's getting a massive stable of fighters where it's sort of British level, Commonwealth level, those opportunities are readily available. So is it important for yourself to always have that sort of backing as well as obviously your coaching team?
Yeah, so since I've been with Leeton, put it this way, this is how great a manager he is for me. Since I've been with Leeton, the first opportunity he got was for the British title. And the second opportunity he's got is for again on TV on a Warren Bill for a Commonwealth silver. So that again, that's just shows how good he is at what he does and the connections he has, and that's the sort of stuff that I need in my career to push me to the top and build me and get me in the right position that I need to be to win world titles.
Kez, once again, thank you so much for joining me tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking with yourself and look forward to
No,
watching your fight.
yeah, no problem at all. I appreciate it, mate.